All right, so welcome to this week's Unikernel application spotlight. This week we're looking at Grafeo. So Grafeo is a fast, lean, embeddable graph database built in Rust. So this is kind of like akin to maybe like a RangoDB or some of these others out there. I think one of the main use cases is the embeddable uh, part of this. So imagine like a SQLite, but it's graph based. Um, so so that seems like one of the main use cases just by looking at the documentation and all that good stuff. But you can also run it as a server, which is what we're going to show because um, it allowed me to make a package. so, so yeah, like if it was just embeddable, then I can't like really make a package. So that's why I'm showing the server side of it. And that's actually like so the main project is this GraphioDB, right? But then they have a large ecosystem of other various components that kind of fit into it. So the server, which I'm going to show, there's like the web interface, which I assume the web interface, well, maybe not. Maybe that's something else. They've got different transports and so forth, the MCP and benchmarking and all that good stuff. Yeah, some of the things that it does is on the query language front, and we'll show some of this. They support many different query languages, so you have Cypher, Gremlin, GraphQL, and Sparkle, GCL, all that good stuff. They have all the different vector search operations. And then, on the architecture side, it uses a column storage. There's some really interesting things you can do, like you can dump walls on demand, which is kind of interesting. They do include some benchmarks. They actually have a whole repo filled with various benchmarks, and so it's like this versus Neo4j versus memgraph versus RangoDB. By the way, I should note all of these you can run as Nanos unikernels. I believe we have packages for all these. I know for sure Rango and Neo we do. So maybe you should try them out and see what's better on that front. But yeah, Grafeo server is what we're going to actually run, and so this is just like a little web server on top of the underlying library, and it has a nice little UI you can kind of play with. The package, if you want to play around, is here. So we're going to go ahead and run this guy. And then I'm just going to tack on the arch because I'm on a different arch today. So we're going to download it. Well, I actually already had it. I didn't need to do that, did I? Let's do ops package load. Port. It's these guys. So we'll do this. Arch. All right, so we're up and running. So we got 74, 74, and we have 76, 88. So gRPC and so forth. What we can do is we can kind of go ahead and insert. And I just ripped this from the README. So we're just going to insert this person with the name of Alice, and her age is 30, I guess. Let's see our IP. Yeah, okay, so this is just local. And I'm not sure if this is going to allow me to do it twice without differentiation. But anyways, we go ahead and pipe it in, and then we can go ahead and, get our query back out. And as you can see, I guess it did allow me to add Alice twice. So interesting. All right, now on the web front, what we can do is we can take our query, and then, in this case, this was just GCL default. So like I said, they have different query language support, and if you can look at it, like here we have like match p person. Here's just like match in GraphQL. A lot of people are probably pretty familiar with this. It's just person name, age. Then you got Gremlin. Gremlin was really big. when a lot of these were JVM based, like a lot of these graph databases and query execution layers and so forth were all JVM based. They actually make a pretty big point about this being Rust, and so there's a few bonus points there, right? Like the JVM, you got to kind of start the crankshaft to get up and running. Rust just starts immediately, so that's a big plus. But also, I think there's a lot of performance wins here too. At runtime, and then of course you got Sparkle, which is really old, much older than Gremlin and all these others. XML based and so forth. And But you also have other algos that you can use, and then the administrative interface. I mentioned like this wall checkpointing and so forth. That's kind of cool. You can get the cache stats and your searches and everything. Anyways, so here's the web interface, right? Pretty clean. We go ahead and run, and as you can see, it's kind of picked up our Alice node here. And so now you can kind of figure out the relationships amongst all these different nodes and do all your sort of queries that you would want. So you have your table based and your graph based. You can get the JSON, which is great, or CSV. Switch between your different query executions, and then obviously you've got all your stats. You can even create your own databases, and you can say, hey, give me all the memory. That's interesting that they allow you to disable the wall. Probably not what you want in prod, but if you're just screwing around, it's interesting. You can set your thread count, all that good stuff. But yeah, this is an interesting little project. It was just on HN like the other day, and I saw it, and it said single binary. It said Rust. I was like, I'm gonna check this out. So anyways, this was running Grafeo, the fast-lane embeddable graph database built in Rust, now running as a Nanos Unikernel. Till next time.